Hey, good morning, everyone. I thank you all for joining with us today. Hope you're all having a wonderful day. So I'm Santosh Kumar, and I work as a product manager for OfferX. So I'll be your host for today. Uh, we have been doing webinars on candid backouts for quite often now, but this webinar is going to be a special one. We have our founder and chief executive officer, Mr. Krishna Padisetti, joining with us today, and I'm sure we are in for some valuable insights. Okay, so now let's take a very quick look at what we have planned for today. First up, we'll talk about OfferX journey, and then we hear from Mr. Krishna Padisetti himself. He'll be sharing his experience and thoughts on candid ghosting and ethical values which are missing today while candid onboarding or offboarding from the company. Next on the agenda, we'll talk about how OfferX can provide a solution to this problem. And we'll also walk you through a brief demonstration on OfferX, giving you a first-hand look at our platform. Moving on to the next, we will talk about the upcoming features in OfferX. And finally, we'll open up the floor for Q&A session. I request you to park all your questions until we land up in Q&A session. We love to see your participation in Q&A. Please feel free to ask your questions. We are here to help you out. Can we move on to the next slide? Yeah. So we took OfferX to live in 2023 August, and we are very glad to see an overwhelming response from the HR fraternity. We feel happy when we see testimonials coming from different companies and when they talk about how OfferX is solving their candid ghosting problem. As of now, we have more than 2,000 companies enrolled with us and more than 10,000 candidates engaged. And if you are not yet registered in OfferX, I request you to register as early as possible and leverage all the features and the functionalities of OfferX and become a part of this game-changing application. Moving on to the next slide. Okay. Without keeping you waiting any longer, please join me in giving a warm welcome to Mr. Krishna Padisetti. So Krishna, the stage is all yours.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you so much, Santosh. I really want to extend my warm welcome to everyone today. I know we have Diwali in like 2 days. I'm sure many of you might already be, in that holiday mode. We will definitely try to keep it as concise as possible. Like Santosh was mentioning, let's actually hold on to your questions. And then we will spend quite a bit of time through it. And also we would love to hear your own experiences with ghosting. So a quick overview about me before we jump into this ghosting stories. As Santosh was mentioning, I'm like Krishna Padisetti. My background had been in the technology. I have been running the company for around like 9 to 10 years now. So I have a mix of both sides, an employee as well as an employer. So I have both aspects. Coming back to the ghosting stories, I'm not going to be going through all of it, but in general, I will say when I started the company in 2015, that's the first time I encountered this ghosting behavior. I was not aware of it. I extended an offer to one of the recruiter. The guy was really good, and I'm pretty new to this team formation. Literally, I trusted everyone, talking to me. I waited for like 2 weeks, and this recruiter was really awesome. But then the guy was, in touch with me until the weekend. And the Monday 9 o'clock is when the guy was about to show up. Nowhere to be found. I tried calling. Initially, I thought maybe the guy was, having some hiccups and whatnot, but gone. Right. I was really shocked and confused, and it shook my trust. I thought I was in good terms with this guy, and the guy is gone. Right. So that was my first experience. But later on, I had other major impacts as well. So one of the impact that we had was we gave a program manager to one of our premium client. We do a lot of business with them. We waited like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and then just about, again, the same story. The weekend actually arrived, and the program manager said, hey, you know what, I cannot come and join you guys. And Monday is the start date. We were like very nervous. We don't know what to do. So in the last minute, what we had to do was I had to eject one of my core leader who is running the organization here in India and give that guy to the client. It was pretty damaging for us because the moment you peel the leader and give it to outside, side, then what is going to happen to the organization that we are running, right? We actually took a lot of hit because of that, lots of challenges. So that's one impact. And the major impact that I had, I would say, is we had one lead developer who was, having like 17 years of experience, pretty good guy. We thought we were having pretty good relationship, very sensible guy. We struck a major deal with a pretty large healthcare company. The expectation is they don't have offshore center. So the plan is we will be helping with, building the offshore team for them. Essentially, it's like a multi-million-dollar business, literally anywhere from 40 to 50 projects in the time frame of next 2-3 years. So we gave this good guy saying he is going to be the lead for the first project we are going to be undertaking from them. And from there, we will build additional team members, teams, and we can take on more projects. So even within like 2 weeks after giving this guy, what happened, this lead said like, hey, I'm actually quitting. Right? Like he didn't even give us any time. He said like, today is my last day. I'm actually quitting. It was pretty awkward situation because there is no time for replacement and there is nothing much we could do, right? So that actually caused a loss of trust and we lost quite a lot of projects. I mean, we still do business with the client, but nothing in the scale that, we wanted to. So that was one other major impact. And there are many others. I'm sure like you guys are very familiar with these stories. Everyone has, your own stories. But all that I can tell you is as an employer, we faced major challenges and I really felt this has to be resolved. Otherwise, it's not going to be good for the company, it's not good for the economy, and also it's not giving a good impression for the companies who are giving the projects, right? Mostly we will get projects from abroad. So those guys will not have a good impression about the people out here. So that's one other thing I did not feel good. But all that I can tell you is before moving on to the other slide, I have spent a lot of, sleepless nights. I mean it. When these resources commit the offer and they made us wait until the day of joining and they don't show up, it was pretty stressful. We lost clients, we lost business, we lost, peace of mind. I'm not to say that companies do not engage in unethical behaviors. I do hear some companies release offers and they don't keep up the word. It's equally problematic for the candidates as well. But all that I could speak from my side is as an employer, I have faced these challenges, but this platform is pretty neutral. It actually gives stability to both sides so that there is some predictability between both the parties. So can we go on to the next slide, please? Okay, so these ethical values, what I have observed is the candidates, for some reason, they think the companies are more like a machine or it's like a magical box where they don't show up, companies can somehow survive, right? But truly speaking, companies are really made out of people. It's not a machine. And there is no magic wand. If they are not really holding on to their promise, the impact is felt by the company, right? Maybe big companies, they could figure out, but small to mid-sized companies, they will have some challenges. I have seen incidents where after the interview is done with the client, candidates will, renegotiate the salary. That actually puts the companies in a very unfavorable situation because the rates and everything is pre-worked out with the clients. And based on that only, they will try to bring candidates on board. In some cases, I have seen we had to raise the salaries anywhere from 10 to 20% from whatever that we have offering. It pretty much left with no margin. In spite of doing all the hard work, it left that way. And we have seen situations where, particularly during the COVID timeframe, moonlighting was a bit of a problem. People were operating remotely, and it's hard to say what they were working on. And I did come across situations when somebody was about to leave the organization. Let's say they found a new job and they are moving out. Right from that day, I wouldn't say everyone, but there are some who felt like, like I'm out of here and I have no obligation to fulfill. It caused some escalations with the clients. The employees don't attend the meetings, they don't complete the tasks because for them, they feel they have the second job, the next job in the pipeline, and they have nothing to lose. Sometimes, they engage in activities that will impact the companies. And I also have seen some candidates, not candidates, employees will start spreading some misinformation while they were leaving. The reason I'm actually mentioning about the offboarding is the product that we have developed it actually addresses both the problems. So that way, if someone is actually having challenges at the time of onboarding or offboarding, this product will take care of it. So that way, there is stability on both sides. Because just like I mentioned, the moment somebody finds their second job or the next job, they will feel like, okay, I'm done. Like my life is set. I can do anything I want, right? So anyway, so being said that, I just want to ask if anybody has any questions, or we could move on to the next slide. If you guys have any questions, please, raise your hand. Otherwise, there is a proper time set for Q&A. We can spend a lot of time. We would love to hear your experiences, how we all can work together. It's going to be a collective effort. One company cannot solve this problem. We all have to come together. But yeah, if you have any questions, please raise your hand. Otherwise, I think we can move on to the next slide.
Yeah, so please feel free to raise your hand so that we can enable your mic.
Okay, I think
looks like all good. So let's move on to the next slide. Okay, so we have a small video which will give you an elevator pitch about how OfferX is going to solve this candidate ghosting problem. So can we run a video?
In today's world, employees have numerous platforms to share their opinions about companies publicly. However, shouldn't companies also have the ability to share feedback on their employees that could genuinely help the next company for making better hiring decisions? OfferX, the first global reviews platform that combines onboarding and offboarding reviews, creating a comprehensive space for feedback exchange. By enabling both companies and employees to share their experiences openly, OfferX platform helps to make improvements on both sides. A company can delve deep into a candidate's behavior from the initial handshake to their departure from past companies to gain visibility into their authenticity and dedication. This enables companies to decide if they want to bring a candidate on board or not based on the track record. We call it the decision dynamo. An employee can gain deeper insights about a company on what the employees have to say about their experience with the company's culture, work environment, etc. The dual review system of OfferX ensures informed decisions for both companies and employees, which improves the experience of the employment process and eliminates any last-minute surprises between both parties. Are you ready to revolutionize your recruitment journey? Join the OfferX today.
Yeah, so that's a small video which will help you to understand how OfferX is going to solve this problem. So we were brainstorming on how to solve this problem. Actually, we thought there is no review system on the candidates or the employees. So that's exactly why a lot of these individuals are taking advantage, or I would say exploiting the system. Because if they are ghosting a company, that history is not tracked anywhere. And they can go shoot again and again. They can continue this for their life because they are not being caught. So that's the problem. So that's when we started thinking there has to be some sort of a tracking mechanism to track unethical behavior of the candidates. So that's how OfferX came into existence. The solution was to release the offers online so that the candidates go and e-sign the document at the same time. They will also give a consent if the experience goes good or bad, whatever the experience is going to be like. The company is eligible to write a review on them, and likewise, employee can also write a review on the company on their onboarding experience. So that way, the levels are set on both the sides. And most often, what I have seen is with our own experience, when we release an offer letter online and when we ask them to do an e-signature and make them aware that if they are backing out, then there will be a review on them. In a lot of cases, people are not willing to sign. And we feel thankful for that. The reason is because we don't want to mislead at later point of time. It's working very well for us. And when we release it online, when people are committed, oftentimes 90% of the cases, people are just joining so that we are not wasting our time. So let's say if a lot of these companies are releasing the offers using this platform, so what will really happen is the candidates will have a little bit of difficult time to ghost the employers, because now they get to know that if they are now they are being tracked and they cannot find the next job, right? It will actually bring some discipline in the system. So that's how the review system is working like a magic for us. So it's just like a credibility check for any employer. Whenever you wanted to release an offer letter, just go search for that particular candidate in the OfferX system. Check the complete review system. We have onboarding and offboarding review. Check those reviews, and we also have an offer history. If someone is signing an offer letter at the same time with multiple offers, then you are able to see that. So that's how you can take a decision whether you want to release an offer letter or not. Still, if the candidate signs an offer letter and if he's committed to it, and when you see that if the candidate is ghosted, please write a review on the OfferX system. So that's a simple solution, and that has been working very well for us. And we also have our sales manager, Sai Kiran, with us. I shall request Sai to give a very quick walkthrough on how OfferX is going to work for us. Yeah, over to you, Sai.
Sure, Santosh. Thank you so much for the quick introduction. Let me quickly present my screen and show how the OfferX works. Santosh, can you confirm if my screen is visible?
Yes, it's visible, Sai. Yeah.
Thanks, Santosh. Thank you. So once you click offerx.in on website, the page would be similar to the one which is showed and displayed over the screen. So it's a quick registration process that we have. So we have two sides of a platform. One is the company side, second is the candidate side. For the company, you just have to click on company. Then you get three options, like select your option by creating an account or sign in with Microsoft or sign in with Google. So there would be quick steps to complete the signing and the registration process. Right. I'm using a demonstration account, so I'm directly signing into the demo account with a company called NextGen India Private Limited. Yeah. So once quickly, if we log in, then we will be able to see like four options. One is the jobs offer section, then second is the dashboard, third is the candidate invitation, and fourth is the manage employees. Yeah. So like as Santosh has stated, we have a review system where even before the HR or a TA releasing an offer letter, they'll be able to see a candidate reviews given by the previous organizations. The second, you can also see the offer history of a candidate. Third, you can release an offer letter to a candidate, which goes with the signature facility. So I'll show all these three options one by one. So first, for example, I'm searching for Mr. Usman Patil. It's as I said, it's a demonstration account, so it's a random person that we have kept here. But if you release going to our platform and searching, then you can search by a name or a job title. And once you do that, if you want to confirm that the same candidate that you're searching for is the one which is displayed here, then you can cross-check with the highest education qualification, institute name, and other details as well, like contact, etc. So if I just scroll down, we have the review system here, the onboarding reviews given by the various organizations like NextGen India, then Zest Technologies, Apex India Infosystem, and Sortify. So these are the ratings given by the organizations towards their onboarding experience with Mr. Usman Patil. And if somebody wants to open a particular review, here is the option. You just have to click on the review details. It will show what is the review given by the company, corporate to the candidate. So appreciating Usman for his clever performance during this tenure, looking forward to engage more. This is the review given by the company to the candidate, Mr. Usman. And Usman, the candidate can also reply back. Thank you so much, Spotify, for your kind words, means a lot. So this is a fair onboarding review system. And the second is for the offer history. So, for example, Mr. Usman has accepted an offer from NextGen India Private Limited, and also during his notice period has accepted the offer from XYZ other organization. So that would be displayed over here. You can see, and you can see like, if he's accepting multiple offers from the market. So the company's name wouldn't disclose, but however, what is the acceptance of the, the offer, and what is the date of acceptance? Position and date of acceptance would be displayed. These features will be there. These features would be there. So by which you can cross check with the candidate for whether he has really accepted any other offer from the market, or you can plan and also work with some other person as a plan B. And we have similarly offboarding rating as well. Some candidate who joins with an organization, after that also a company can leave a review against a candidate, and that would be displayed here. So if you want to release an offer, From releasing an offer, I just choose. We have two options. One is consent on employment. Second is offer letter. I'll just click offer letter. I'll just give a random job title. I'll select the date as expiry date as 31st and the job start date as November 1st. I'll just upload a random file just as example file. Yeah. So I've uploaded offer letter to Mr. Usman Patel with the subject and other details as well. So once I click on releasing, okay.
I think you already have a similar offer letter for the same candidate from the same company.
Yeah, I'll just check. No problem. Okay. I'm just sorry. I'm just choosing again. Yeah. So the I have released to Mr. Clark. I've just used another demonstration account. I'm sorry because I think earlier we have already released to this demonstration account of a candidate. So I've used Mr. Clark Davis as another candidate where I have released the offer letter to Mr. Clark. So this is how we release an offer letter to an individual candidate. Now I will show you the candidate's interface, how he can accept the offer or how he can see the offer. So again, I'm just using a demonstration account. So I will directly log into the candidate's account. Yeah. So the candidate's profile is here, Mr. Clark Davis. So here is the offer of the COE that I've released, which is for the position of business analyst on 29th of the October and expiry date is 30 and the job start date is 31st October. So the candidate will be able to see the complete offer that has been released and he can also view. He can't download until unless he's accepted the offer or a COE. So once he accepts the offer, so you'll have to proceed with a sign, with a signature. Uh, so I have signed successfully as a candidate. So now in the company section, it will clearly show that Mr. Clark Davis has accepted the COE from business analyst as a position as business analyst on 29th and the job start date is 31st October. If you want to leave a review, from here you can leave a review against a candidate. So, for example, he's onboarded successfully with you with the good onboarding experience, and you can leave him as review as 4-star rating. So onboard. So I have given a review as well. My review has been successfully submitted from the company account. So if you go and search again from the Clark Davis. So just I have given this one review on 29th October is the review that I've given. So similarly, like there is a complete dashboard from the company's perspective. You can see how many offers has been released, what is the total accepted, what is the total decline, and total expired. This gives an overall picture of how many offers has been released and what is the acceptance ratio. So this and also you can invite the candidates from here. You can invite a new candidate, or you can invite the candidate in bulk as well. And this is for the existing employees that you want to invite for an offboarding review. And for the manage employees, you can invite a manage an employee by giving their first name, last name, and email ID. So you can share the access of our OfferX platform with your colleagues as well. and you can share their role, like either an admin or an offer manager role. So admin will be able to do all the activities, but the offer manager can only release an offer letter. So these are the few features and details about our platform. So please, let's connect one-on-one for an individual demonstration, and I'll walk you through for the detailed demonstration on the platform as well. And the floor, if anybody have any questions, we can enable your mics. Thank you, Santosh, over to you.
Thank you, Sai. Yeah, so can we move on to the next slides? Okay. So this is one of the exciting feature we are bringing into the system as soon as possible. Offer Data Punch will help you to understand whether the candidate is accepting multiple offers from different companies at the same time. The process is simple. Once the candidate accepts an offer, you just have to punch offer details of the candidate in OfferX. We just require the minimal details, enter PAN number of the candidate. We shall validate if the PAN number is valid or not. And the system autofills the name of the candidate then and there, right? And then you just need to enter offer acceptance date and joining date of the candidate and submit it. That's when the offer history tracking on the candidate will begin in OfferX system. Now, if any other company is punching the offer details on the same candidate in OfferX system, then we shall notify you about the number of offer letters he accepted from the other companies. We do not disclose a company name. It is against the privacy laws. All that we will let you know is the date of accepting the offer letters and the role he or she is accepted for. That simple it is. Yeah, so we'll just let you know about this feature when we move into the production, probably from the next probably within the next few weeks. So we are going to launch this feature into the OfferX system. We'll keep you notified on that. So can we move on to the next slide?
One question here, and Kirti.
Yeah.
Systems.
So Kirti, can we take your question in the question and answer session? Is it okay?
No worries.
Okay, thank you. Okay, we see that some companies already using HRMS system to release offer letters to the candidate. So now the question arises like, how can I take an advantage on OfferX? Because I'm releasing an offer letter from some other HRMS system. Then how can I write a review from into the OfferX system? So I cannot like release offers on like two platforms, like one from the HRMS and one from the OfferX system, which totally does not make any sense at all. So we are working on the integration with several HRMS systems. So what we thought in the meantime is the HRMS system users, what we can do is they could still release the offers using their HRMS system as usual. We don't see any problem. The only thing is that we have to release a consent on employment letter. I'm sure that you might have been wondering about the consent on employment letter. It just nothing but a letter of intent, which we generally release before all offer letter, right? So just release that consent on employment letter to the candidate from the OfferX system. This consent on employment letter will provide a clarification to the candidate that reviewing can still happen on OfferX, though you are releasing an offer letter from the HRMS system. So all that we wanted to make sure is you'll be releasing an offer letter from your HRMS and release a consent on employment letter from the OfferX system so that you can leverage a review system from the OfferX. So this way, all the existing HRMS system users, they can operate the way they have been operating and still take an advantage of reviewing an OfferX. So that's why it's like best of both the worlds. So moving on to the next slide. Yeah, now let's jump on to the most exciting part of the webinar. So Q&A session. We urge all of you to start firing away with your questions. So Mr. Krishna and I am here to address you all your inquiries and share our expertise. Yeah, I see that Kirti, if I'm not wrong, can we enable Kirti's mic?
Hey, hi. Thanks, Santosh, Krishna, and Sagar. Yes, we are intent to move forward and finding up solutions right now. So one quick question here, right? I saw in the demo where the information is provided by the candidate, or from where the information has been provided. How do we ensure the information was not posted there?
Okay. You said which information? You're talking about the candidate information, if I'm not wrong?
Candidate information, right? To go ahead and record the demo.
Right. So
it's
coming from the candidate. So for example, if you just look at some of the information like the educational details, or like, the personal identity details of the candidate. So that is coming from the candidate itself. Or if you just look at, the review system on the candidate, so that is something which is coming from their previous employers. For example,
Okay.
if Santosh is working from worked for Axion Labs previously, right? So the review, whatever you're seeing on the candidate Santosh Kumar, so that is coming from his previous employer, that is Axion Labs. That's how it
So
is.
my question is two things here. How do we ensure this information are updated on time? Right? That's one way of information where it is being pulled off. Where this information is being pulled off. One. Two, I want to understand when the onboarding details has been uploaded against the company. How do you ensure the company has been given the right information against it?
Right. So I can talk about the first question. So that is something which happens right after you're releasing an offer letter. For example, say that you released an offer letter to Santosh Kumar, and if you found out that Santosh Kumar has ghosted you, then you can just write a review on Santosh Kumar. That's how it works actually. So it will happen right
Okay.
after you release an offer letter. So that's your first answer. And the second thing, are you talking about the authenticity of the review? If I'm not wrong.
Right. Right.
Right. So that is the reason why we are tightly coupled with. So that is the reason why we are tightly coupled with an offer letter. So if you just look at some other applications in the market, so there is no tax attached, right? You can just go write a review on anyone, any company. Right. So we don't have an authenticity there. But when it comes to the OfferX system, company is releasing an offer letter, and then only both the company and candidate can write a review. And moreover,
Yeah,
if we see that if you have any kind of a false review on a company or a candidate, we are there to help you out. We have an arbitration support in place. You can reach us. You can write us at support@offerx.in. So we have a dedicated team where you can help you out.
The reason why, sorry, Krishna, you want to add on?
No, I was just about to say what Santosh has mentioned. Even though we are tying with OfferX, there are like strings attached. If there is any fake reviews, obviously we are there to clear those things for the employers as well as for the candidates.
Thanks, sir.
Right.
Thanks, sir. My one
Thanks,
question is because last 2 years, they are not posting around. They are some of the candidates, right? Most of the candidates are coming back to us with a counter offers, and they're ensuring that they are having it XYZ, the numbers, and we want to go for it. They are ready to go for it and share the offer, right? In those cases, how do we need to go for the net? This is what I thought we were going to do. Anyways, I'll catch up one-on-one and then I'll have another
Sure.
details.
Yeah, awesome.
Sure, Kirti.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think we have Sahitya. I see the hand is raised.
Yeah, thank you very much for an eye opener. What I was thinking, all these measures, yes, they will plug to an extent, and we are pained by such rejections and ghostings at the nth moment, leaving us. Do we, in addition to all these measures, can we have a legal clause saying that any accepted offer rejected at the nth moment and if I'm not really sure about this.
Still. Okay.
Sorry,
Yeah,
like
Krishna,
I don't know,
please go
maybe it's a network issue on my side. I kind of missed the last part. Did you say could we put some legal clause and make them accountable?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. See, that's definitely something. It's the terms between the employers and the candidates. I know there were companies who had some penalties if they actually back out. Probably I will encourage you to work with your legal teams. But I am aware companies are actually doing that.
Yeah. So even
Thank
I
you so
see
very
that,
much.
people signing the bonds as well sometimes. So candidates will still do that. They don't see any problem in signing the bonds, or if you mention any kind of legal clauses to it, they will just do that. They will just
But
if
bonds are not enforceable in India.
agreed,
That's
agreed,
the
agreed.
hard
But
truth.
Yeah.
Agreed.
No. I think that is right. I think so. My understanding is the legal obligation can be imposed, but again, I will encourage you to check with your legal team.
Done. Thank you so very much.
Yeah, thank you. So we see some questions in the chat. Do you want to pick them up? I think
right.
Girija asked a question on some PAN or something,
Yeah.
right? Like,
Is
okay to
it
collect PAN?
Yeah, is it okay to collect PAN at the offer stage? Yeah, it's absolutely okay to collect the PAN at the offer stage. So we generally collect the Aadhaar number and sometimes PAN as well. But the thing is, when it comes to the Aadhaar number, we just need to collect the last 4 digit of Aadhaar number. So that's how it is. But when it comes to the PAN, it's absolutely okay to do that. And by the way, when we store this Aadhaar number, or if we wanted to showcase this Aadhaar number to the third person in the OfferX system, we'll do that only a masked Aadhaar number, only the last 4 digit will be visible. And when it comes to the storage in our system, it was completely encrypted.
Yeah. I see Bharat has raised your hand. Like, give us like one more opportunity. I think there is another question related to duplicacy of candidates.
Right. So
Santosh?
I could see that Hema is asking how would we avoid duplicacy when candidate use multiple email IDs, numbers, say they receive a negative onboarding. Yeah, that's absolutely a correct question. So I could understand this, but see, the thing is, once the candidate lands up in having a ghosting reviews on the OfferX system, then obviously the candidate will try to duplicate his account because he just don't wanted to showcase his account to some other people just because he has lots of ghosting reviews on him. I can understand that, but we don't allow any kind of duplicated accounts. So the Aadhaar is a unique identifier for us. So we will validate Aadhaar number when the candidate is registering with us, and the next time when he or she is trying to register with the same Aadhaar number, then we don't allow them to do it. So Aadhaar number is our unique identifier to tackle this duplicacies in OfferX system. Yeah,
Hi,
looks like
Krishna.
yeah.
Yeah. Hey,
Krishna,
go
I
on.
have a question. Like now, you said that you will help employer or candidates to remove the fake reviews. I want to understand the mechanism, how you guys are going to identify what is fake and what is real.
Yeah, good question. So typically, we won't be able to know which one is fake and which one is not. Of course, we have some language checks in place if someone is really, trying to retaliate and get into bad language. Obviously, our system will catch it. But if someone narrates a story that is inaccurate, most likely we would not know about it. So we will look forward for the employer or the candidate to report the problem, just like how you would report in Google reviews or other reviews, right? Somebody puts a fake review, they will flag it so that the system will know and they will actually engage. That is how it's going to work. No different than that. Great.
So any more questions? Please feel free to raise your hand if you have a question.
Anybody has any stories to share? I'm sure you may have some interesting stories as well, right? Like I have seen some stories on my end. I would love to hear if anybody ran into this issue. And also, I have a question for all of you. How much of this is problem for you guys? I mean, we had like major struggle. That exactly why we invested so much in building this product. Yeah, I would love to hear from you guys. I see Sahitya has raised your hand.
In one shot, it's pain. Actually, we have seen, because an operation was set to begin and be reinforced, reconfirmed thrice, and the individuals say, yes, we will join, we will certainly be there. But on that particular day, we are anxious and we are sleepless. And that anxiety is puts us in a predicament or dilemma to create backups. So in order to create backup, we need to assure the candidate, but that also puts us in a dilemma. Either ways, we are stuck between the hell and high sea. So it's a real pain. That is why I intended to join this session. So,
thank you. I know. I'm sure it also has health impacts, right? Anyone who is facing these challenges.
Absolutely.
It will raise your blood pressure. No doubt about it.
First of all, we are going through midlife crisis in these positions, and on top of it, these add to a lot of O's to the.
Yeah, no, I'm with you there, 100%.
Yeah,
I'm with you. Okay, I think let's see. Do we have any more coming in?
Yeah, so it's Smita. Yeah, Smita says it's a cultural thing. It's unfortunate that candidates disappear. They don't have the maturity to be open and transparent to say, I don't want to take up the offer.
Yeah. So here is one thing I want to share my thought, right? Everyone feels it is my right to explore, my being like a candidate perspective. They feel it is their right to explore multiple job opportunities and receive multiple offers. I think it is a fair expectation. I don't see any problem with that. The only problem I think we are having is to do with the offer acceptance, right? If they're accepting 10 offers, then all these 10 companies are waiting on them. If they say, I need like 2 more weeks to make up my mind, so I'm not going to accept the offer because I'm exploring other opportunities, no problem. Or, just kind of delay that. Don't want to accept the offer and then back out. That's one thing. I have read some articles on LinkedIn somewhere. Candidates were saying, hey, if I get a hike, like I will join a new company. What's wrong with it? But I think there is a way to do it. I always relate this to a marriage. I don't know how many will agree or disagree to it. I always say, it is a marriage. You don't want to, jump the ship. Once you commit, you need to stay committed. Unless it is some extreme cases where maybe the company has, failed on their promise or some drastic changes happening on the candidate side. We have accommodated that, right? Sometimes candidates ran into some challenges. We said, okay, we understand, not a problem. Please take care. And then we moved on, right? But purposefully doing, I think, is the problem. Okay, I see Girija. You could
Yeah, so can we
unmute
enable?
yeah, Girija's mic is muted.
Okay, yeah, sorry,
Right.
I was just trying to figure out how to unmute. See, I
Sure.
think, you were saying it's acceptable for candidates to do it, or I know for a lot of us find it very painful when candidates rescind or renege their offers at the last minute. I think it's like a very sad state we are in, and in a lot many ways, I think we are ourselves responsible for it, right? I think during the Great Resignation period, that trend of counter offers was created, right? It still continues to hurt companies, and I think in
Yeah.
the entire scenario, the ones who lose are smaller organizations who probably have
Right.
lesser brand visibility, right?
Right.
And it really hurts businesses like I mean, like I can relate to
Yeah.
it because I came from a large organization to a small organization. I know losing one candidate in my previous organization didn't make much impact. But here I know the moment I have one offer being reneged, I kind of have a sleepless night, right? It
Yeah.
hurts so much.
It does.
Yeah, I
It
think,
does.
that's, and I really hope the scenario changes at some point because, I think it's also
Yeah.
to do with some sort of moral grounds that the people also need.
Moral values, right?
Like,
It's
yeah,
totally
yeah,
to do
true.
with the moral values. That's exactly why if all the employers come together and centralize the system so
I
that
think, yeah,
candidates see what's happening today is everyone is using emails or other invisible mechanisms. So that way candidates, whatever they are doing, it's just not is visible. Like if there is an online mechanism where candidates are being tracked, they'll be super careful. I will tell you some situations where when we talked about OfferX for our own hiring, some of the candidates backed out. They said like, hey, I'm not going to sign using OfferX. So we know for a fact the guy is not serious in accepting our offer. So that's right there. The guy kind of, weeded out right there. And often our success rate, I would say, is maybe around 90% of the cases where we are seeing candidates are joining. Maybe still we are seeing this 10%. Earlier, the situation was very bad. When there is no OfferX, we release like maybe let's say 10 offers and chances of somebody joining is like 2 or 3. But now I would say when we release like 10 offers, we can see almost 9 candidates are joining us purely because of OfferX. So imagine a situation where all the companies are coming forward and start using this centralized tool, then I think the stability will be there. That's what I would highly encourage and request to help ourselves. I see Smita has raised hand.
Yeah.
Hi, Krishna and the
Yeah,
team.
hi.
So what I wanted to share was what we've done at Fast Track. We've been very lenient, and I have over 20 years of experience in talent acquisition. Over the years, we've been very lenient to say, okay, that candidate wants to change his date of or her date of joining. Let's accommodate that, right? So, but what we've done here the last couple of years at Fast Track has been that let's assume the notice period is 30 days, right? So you're expected to join on 1st of January, right? So that's the communication during the interview that the candidate has given. And before we roll out an offer, we make it very clear to the candidate that, listen, 1st of January is your date of joining as per your notice period. If you can come on board earlier, we will honor it. But on 31st of December, if you're going to call in and say that I cannot join tomorrow. My grandmother is unwell and I will want to join on 5th of January. I apologize. We will not accommodate that. Your offer is withdrawn. Right. So that's a communication that we've been doing so far. And it has worked largely because so far it's always the organization's taken for granted. Right. My grandmother is unwell. I met with an accident. Somebody passed away, or I can't relocate. But 100 things. It's always the organization to be accommodating. It's never the candidate who accommodates. Right. So we've very clear communication to say, if you join on 1st, we are happy to onboard, or even earlier, we are happy to onboard basis the business requirements. But anything after 1st of January, I'm sorry, we will not be able to onboard. So which means that the candidate is fully aware that he cannot mess, to some extent. I'm not saying this solves our problem, but at least to a large extent, we've been able to mitigate this because you're communicating, right? That I will not extend the date of joining. It's on a date that you agree or no.
I mean, I want to tell you, we tried it after we have been struggling with this for almost 9 years now. The first 2-3 years, we didn't know how to address this. But then after that, we were following exactly what you were saying. The candidates that we interview, we explain this is the problem, how employers are getting impacted. You don't want to do it. So if you want to bail out, just bail out now. If you are accepting, you are accepting, right? So we give all those messages. They will hear, they will accept, they will say, no, I'm not going to do. But trust me, like, it didn't work for us. As much as we tried, it still didn't work. Maybe it helped to some degree, but it has not fully addressed the problem. I think over a period of time, if everyone converges, and if candidates are also getting reviewed, then there is credibility is at stake, right? So that way there will be some sanity. Otherwise, I don't know how else we can address this problem.
Right. I completely agree. Yeah. I wish candidates brought in a little more maturity to say, I'm not happy to take the offer. I got another offer. It's fine. Nobody can do anything. Can't chain you and say, no, you come and join us. But at least that basic courtesy needs to be there. And I think it's a cultural thing very strongly, because it's okay to do things without telling. It's okay to do things stealthily. Right. So, I mean, and this is a problem. I mean, this is a big problem. I'm happy there's a start to, solve this. I really appreciate. But let's see where we get.
Right. See, I mean, imagine a situation. I also want to show something on a personal note. Like, I know we are all talking about business. So there is some work I'm doing. I want to show it in a brief moment. Just to wrap up this conversation, just imagine the same impact is being imposed on a candidate. They will actually feel like there is some injustice happened to them, right? Anybody who feels it is their right, or if it is the way things work in India, I really want them to answer the same question. If they have been offered a job and on a Monday, the company says, oh, I'm so sorry, we found a better guy. You go find a different job. Then what will happen, right? I'm not sure how many companies are doing it. Maybe some companies are. I have no idea, but we never done that. We have always been very sincere with the offers that we have released. We have always been on the receiving end, taking the blows, impacting the business. Imagine the recruiters, right? How much struggle they have to go through, the amount of time you put it. So anyway, I think we all agree. I would love to collaborate with all of you. Please help us and please help ourselves how we can really address this ghosting behavior. So being said that, can we move on to the next slide?
Right. Okay, perfect. So if you have any concerns while using OfferX application, please feel free to write us at support@offerx.in. And you can also connect to our chat support, which is 24/7. And I'm also excited to share that in addition to our monthly webinars, we'll be hosting an offline event in Hyderabad in November. So stay tuned for updates on the venue and date. So we look forward to meeting you in person as well. So can we move on to the next slide?
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I want to share something. Probably none of you might be expecting this. We all, stay busy with our business life, but we also have families. We have children. End of the day, families are very important. Why we are really working is to make sure we lead a comfortable life. We take care of our families. So just like how we wanted to address this offer-related issues, I want to talk about a little bit of charity work that we are doing. I want to run it by, and if there is any way, anywhere you see a connection, I would love to talk to you guys and see how we can work together on it. So we started a foundation called Bright Child Foundation, essentially to help the children in rural areas. Our aim is to make them computer literate. We donate computers, set up computer labs. We send volunteers, teach computers to them. So we want to make sure all these rural area schools are no less than the schools that exist in the cities today. There are so many brilliant kids out there, and unfortunately, their future is not as bright. So that's the reason why we are doing this. And if you look at how things operate in India, there is like a dense population in cities, but then there are like so many villages spread across. There is quite a lot of population spread across India in villages. I have been visiting India very often, but 2022 and 23, I spent a lot of time in India. That's when I got exposed to a lot of challenges here in India, and that's when I thought, I know I should do something about it. Let's play the video. This is going to give you a little bit of glimpse why we are doing it and what we are doing it. Can we please play the video? I hope you have enabled the sound.
Our planet, Mother Earth, is a precious gift to all living beings. However, through our ignorance and carelessness, we are harming it in many ways. We are seeing growing evidence of dangerous levels of pollution in water, air, and soil. The Earth's temperature has been rising at an alarming rate of 0.20 degrees Fahrenheit per decade, posing significant danger to our survival. We are alive today due to beneficial insects and organisms. However, humans are killing them through the usage of pesticides, chemicals, and toxic waste getting mixed with the water system. Unmindfully, garbage is being dumped in land and sea. It is impacting many living beings and has a profound impact on the ecosystem balance. The food that's being produced is filled with dangerous levels of toxins due to the usage of pesticides and chemicals. Unhealthy eating habits, compounded by food adulteration, such as plastic rice, adulterated milk, and the use of chemicals to ripen fruits. Unfortunately, society is disorganized with undisciplined living, and people are accustomed to chaotic environments where there is a lot of clutter and dysfunction all around them. Clearly, it is time to act for the well-being of the people, society, and our planet. The Bright Child Foundation believes that the key to solving these problems is addressing them at their roots. By educating a child about these global issues will bring them awareness and prepare them to be future problem solvers. Our journey starts by providing computer education to school students. We firmly believe that students can effectively learn through animation videos, online portals, and remote mentorship by utilizing computers as a learning tool. The possibilities are endless. Our sustainable education programs include 8 sessions of computer skills to enable children with essential technology, 2 sessions on environmental issues to teach the importance of protecting our planet, 2 sessions on meditation to strengthen their mind, 2 sessions on yoga and health to improve their physical well-being, 2 sessions on social issues and ethical values to make them responsible citizens, 1 session on effective communication to create future thought leaders. As part of the program, Bright Child Foundation volunteers visit schools in person to teach students about computers, social values, and sustainable living to heal the planet and society from its current challenges. While we are excited about the solution, we are challenged by the fact that 62% of the schools lack computers. To address this, we are reaching out to companies and individuals to collect used hardware that is still in working condition and donate it to schools in need. By donating and volunteering with the Bright Child Foundation, you're not just providing access to technology, you're giving children the chance to dream big, learn new things, and build a better future. We are looking forward to reimagining the world together with you.
Bright Child Foundation, redefining the society.
Okay, so I guess what I would like to ask is there are a few ways you can help. What we are doing is we are donating these computers. Where are these computers coming from? Typically, we talk to the companies where they are recycling the computers instead of throwing it away. We take those machines and donate them to the schools. And these computers have at least another 2-3 years life left. Likewise, the volunteers are also coming from are willing to volunteer 2-3 hours a week. That's how we are able to help out schools. This year we have helped around so far 10, but there are 15 more schools in the pipeline. So we will be finishing 25 schools this year, and then we are targeting for around 200 schools for next year. These are few ways you can help. For example, you can come in as a mentor. You could share your life experiences, or you could teach anything you feel that will benefit a child, or you can help with donating computers. Maybe your organization or your known organizations, they have this recycled hardware that we could use. And then the third way is obviously you could always donate. Anything works. The other ways I could think of is maybe you could make some connections. Maybe somebody who is interested in helping the children. That is also something very much welcoming. You can make connections. These are the 3 ways we could think of, but we are very open to receive help in any way you could actually offer. Okay. So being said that, if you have any questions, please let me know. We are also available to connect after. I don't know if my team want to run a quick poll to see if anybody want to learn more and chat more after this meeting. So let's do a quick poll and then we can wrap it up. I truly appreciate for everybody's time today. Thank you so much.
Yeah. So we just have 1 minute of time. Please complete the poll.
Yeah.
30 seconds more.
Great.
Okay, that's it. Thank you. So that's all we have for today. Thank you so much for joining with us, and we all keep you posted on our upcoming events. If you have any kind of questions on OfferX or if you have any questions on the Bright Child Foundation, please feel free to reach us. We are there to help you out. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you all. I greatly appreciate your time. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.